If you're an executive watching this video, though, you ask the prove it kind of questions as well. So somebody walks into you and says, market leaders in consumer products and chemicals are partnering with our company to bring compliant, high quality products to market faster. Now, you as an executive, you sit there and you say, great, sounds good. Show me. How? How do you do that? Developing a business case for your software. This is one of the hardest things to do as you're trying to get the software that you want. I am in this position where usually people ask me the very tough questions of why is this useful? What kind of an impact is this going to have? So this video is going to be talking about how I think of that in a framework. So the game that we're playing here is important. Sometimes you go in, you're not sure what the rules to the game are, and selling software or positioning your software is difficult. A lot of times I hear things like, you need to message things at the executive level. And that's true. We're ultimately getting executive buy-in through this process. And I sell to executives all the time. And so for if you're an executive watching this video, though, you ask the prove it kind of questions as well. So somebody walks into you and says, market leaders in consumer products and chemicals are partnering with our company to bring compliant, high-quality products to market faster while advancing the reputation of your organization and driving better business outcomes and staying ahead of the competition. All of those things sound great. And those messages, they are directed towards the executive. Now, you as an executive, you sit there and you say, great, sounds good. Show me. How? How do you do that? And therein lies the most complicated part. So I just read you something that my marketing team gave to me, and they put a lot of work into, and they chose the words very carefully, and it's good. However, it does nothing for the how, the so what. And this is where the sale happens. This is where the process happens. So I'm going to give you my analogy for this. Track with me here. I'm going to use an example of baseball. Not even a sport that I play a lot of or watch a lot of, but that I am aware enough of that I think this is a great example of what we're trying to do. Baseball is a fairly simple game. A pitcher pitches a ball to a batter. A batter tries to hit it and then run around some bases, and then they score points by going around all the bases. So how do you determine whether or not this stat or this player's skill is going to make my team better? That's kind of what we're doing with software sales. It's almost like a trade. I'm going to trade you this player from my baseball team, and you trade me this player from your baseball team, and I'm going to try to put this player in my number 3 position at batting and put him at second base, right? It's very complicated to say, guess what? You're going to win the game. You will win more games if you put this player in at second base and in the 3rd batting position. That's what a technology sale is like. It's that kind of game. So that's the game. How do we play it? Well, first of all, respect that it's a difficult game. If you're a general manager of a baseball team and you're trying to make a decision, even a simple decision about who to play, when to play them, how to play them, it's complicated. And the same thing is true for software. Figuring out which software to use for what and how is a complicated decision, and it impacts a lot of people. So just respect that it's a difficult thing. Then the second thing is lay out your logic. So from an executive perspective, ask someone to lay out their logic. Pretty obvious. I like your pitch. Show me how. Simple. But for the team that is working on that, laying it out, make sure that the logic is solid. Start and lay it out very specifically before you jump into your PowerPoint and your slides and all that kind of stuff. Lay out what you are trying to say. I am trying to say that this player gets on base and we should put them at first batting position. This player tends to drive runners in and hit the ball a long way. We should put them at the 4 position. That way 2 players have a chance to get on and then they get an opportunity to score. Make sure that you're laying it out with very clear, specific detail. Sometimes you don't have great stats. Sometimes you can't say 70% likelihood that this will happen. You just have to start with what you know and make sure the logic would stand up in court. Make sure that it's going to be 3 layers deep. It's going to be 4 layers deep. You're going to be deriving percentages and saying, I believe that when we do this one thing, it makes these 4 things happen. And then when these 4 things happen, the product gets to market faster. The revenue goes up. Make sure you lay that out first. Play the game. Recognize how hard it is. Make sure that argument is solid. And you'll be all right. I work for Viva, but I'm not speaking on behalf of the company. These are all my own opinions.